Good evening, I'm Jeff Hastings. This is CTV News at 5. Tonight, Banff disaster, another death in a deadly rock slide at Glacier Falls. A guilty plea in an attack that left a father dead and his daughter injured, a case of mistaken identity. And end-of-season interviews, Edmonton Oilers management on moves the team needs to make.
CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Jeff Hastings.
A second person has been confirmed dead in a rock slide at Glacier Falls in Banff National Park. The first victim has been identified as a 70-year-old woman who is a former educator at the University of Alberta. CTV's Evan Kenny joins us now live in studio. And Evan, RCMP and Parks Canada held a joint press conference this afternoon. What can you tell us about that investigation?
Jeff, they say there are no other people missing after using dog teams, aerial and infrared searching over the past 24 hours. Parks Canada says this was a natural rock slide that was not predictable or preventable. Glacier Falls is about 40 kilometers or half an hour north of Lake Louise. This was the moment the rock slide happened yesterday afternoon. It was caught on video by hikers who said they had arrived at the site just moments before. Parks Canada does not have an exact size of the rock slide, but says one of this scope is rare for the mountains, adding difficulty to the rescue.
The debris was incredibly unstable, and there were still parts of the cliff that were concerning. So really looking at minimizing responder exposure, but looking very carefully for any other individuals.
Roughly 100 emergency personnel were involved in the response. 13 people were evacuated by helicopter. 3 hikers were brought by STARS and ambulance to the hospital. All 3 are now in stable condition. Jeff?
All right, Evan, thank you. That's Evan Kenny live for us tonight. One survivor of the rock slide says she started running after she heard the first crack and saw the boulder coming down. Elizabeth Jackson was in the area with her dogs when the slide happened. She says the first rock to come down looked like a multi-story building. On impact, it cracked into pieces. Jackson says that's when the dust whipped up. Her first instinct was to get out of there fast.
I ran so hard and it was downhill, and they're rocks too. It's not great terrain. So I couldn't even plant my feet where I wanted to, and I rolled my ankle, I fell, and I landed on like my knee and my forearm somehow. And like I know I kind of hit my face, but I don't know if it was on the camera, but that was in my hand. It happened so fast. I got back up, got my feet under me, and just kept running.
Jackson was eventually airlifted out along with her dogs. For the first time since early May, Edmonton has recorded another case of measles. The Edmonton case is one of 24 new cases across the province. Edmonton has now seen a total of 7 cases. The provincial total has surpassed 1,000 since March. The province says there have been 20 confirmed cases of measles in pregnant people. As of last week, there had been fewer than 5 cases of congenital measles. That's when a baby contracts the illness from their mother during pregnancy. The province says in each case, the mother was unvaccinated. The UCP government has released data from its survey about age-appropriate materials in schools. The province launched the survey after it found a handful of books in Alberta K-12 schools it deemed inappropriate. Online survey data shows answers to some of the questions, including, at what age should children be able to access materials with sexually explicit content in school libraries? 34% of respondents said never, 23% said high school, 22% said middle school, and 4% said elementary school. 17% said all ages. The province says it will be using the findings to develop province-wide standards. Some Albertans will start to see the effect of Alberta's new personal income tax rate next month. The province says changes are coming to the paychecks of more than 2 million Albertans on July 1st. In January, the Alberta government introduced a new personal income tax bracket of 8% on the first $60,000 of income. That's down from the previous 10%. The province says some Albertans could save up to $750 in 2025. Finance Minister Nate Horner says this is how his government keeps Alberta the most affordable place in Canada to live, work, and raise a family. People who live in the South Edmonton neighborhood where a man was killed this week say they're shocked by what happened. Police say a 65-year-old man was found dead in a garage Wednesday afternoon. They've arrested a 27-year-old man who did not know the victim. That's according to police. He's been charged with second-degree murder. A worker at a nearby job site says he witnessed the arrest. He told CTV News the suspect was wearing work clothes and he looked upset, but he wasn't trying to leave.
He wasn't running or anything. He wasn't even in handcuffs at start. He was just talking to him, then they put him in handcuffs, and then everyone else rolled up, but it wasn't crazy at all.
I was shocked. That's all I have to say, yeah, really.
The victim has been identified as Sugang Periano. Police say he died by blunt force trauma. An Edmonton police officer charged with excessive force has been found not guilty. Constable Alexander Dudek was investigated by Alberta's Serious Response Team after allegedly using a baton during an arrest in 2019, breaking a man's nose. Dudek was found not guilty last week. EPS says Dudek is back on duty in a non-operational role. More than $12 million worth of illegal cigarettes and cigars have been seized in Edmonton. Alberta Gaming, Liquor and Cannabis says the seizures happened across two separate investigations. In total, nearly 67,000 cartons of cigarettes and cigars and more than 150 grams of shisha were found. Criminal charges are pending in both cases. The AGLC says provincial tax avoidance tops more than $4 million. It also says illegally manufactured products also pose health risks as they lack regulatory controls. More lane reductions are coming to a portion of the Yellowhead as crews work to convert the roadway to a freeway. Starting tomorrow, restrictions between St. Albert Trail and 121st Street will extend east to 97th Street with 2 lanes in each direction. The city says it will last until construction is complete in 2027. A 50-kilometer-an-hour speed limit is being enforced in the construction zone. Taking a look at weather now. Josh is out at Riverree for the market.
Yeah, well, outdoor and indoor market, the 5th annual night market down here at the Riverree Resort and Casino. I have Janie Boehm, Director of Marketing with Riverree Resort and Casino with me. The drums are fantastic, all kinds of entertainment lined up. I've viewed some of the artisans. What can people expect when they come down here, aside from just taking in some great sights and sounds?
So first of all, it's absolutely free. It's family friendly. You can come down. We have over 65 artisans and vendors, some great unique handmade stuff. We have a studded entertainment lineup, all day open to close, and we have 10 delicious food trucks.
Yeah, the food trucks I'm waiting to hit. A little rainy outside right now, but hey, listen, this is a new addition to be inside for you guys this year.
It is, yeah. I had a really good advice from you to do an inside portion this year.
Yeah, I'll take that credit, although I deserve none of it. Okay, so 5th year. Can you believe that we're already on year 5?
Not at all. No, it feels like just yesterday we came up with the idea. We started doing this market. I am so happy, so honored to be part of the 5th year of the market.
Yeah. 2 to 10 today, tomorrow, and then Sunday?
Sunday's noon to 5, and we'll be shutting it down about 5 o'clock, yeah.
And if anybody wants to take in the powwow, what are we looking at for timing?
Powwow showcase every day, 4 p.m.
Okay, there you go. Janie, thank you so much. I'm going to go do a little bit of shopping, maybe hit up some of those food trucks a little bit later. We mentioned that it was raining outside, and that's why we're inside the venue at Riverree. There are lots of showers and thunderstorms that have developed as expected in central and north central Alberta. A lot of that right along Highway 16 and here in Edmonton. Parts of the city have been pounded with some heavy rain, although it looks like right now a lot of areas inside the Henday are actually in a bit of a dry spot right now. You get some pretty good thunderstorms east of the city and now to the west. And if you're watching that radar and thinking that's moving in an odd direction, it is actually moving what we would call backwards. Instead of west to east, it's going to move back from the east to the west as it wraps around on the northern edge of this low pressure system, which is going to drop a lot of rain on southern Alberta. But we'll talk more about that in a couple of minutes. 15 degrees downtown Edmonton right now as it's cooled off in behind those showers and thunderstorms. Earlier today, we got to 21 for a daytime high, right on par with the average for both the high and the low, 21 and 10 for your high and low today. It will be cooler tomorrow and breezy. We've got some showers and thunderstorms continuing through this evening, but that'll all be out of here by tomorrow. Cloudy to start the day, but some sunny breaks in the afternoon. High of about 17 and wind gusting to around 30 or 40 kilometers per hour. Full look at the rest of your first summer weekend forecast and the 5 and 10 day forecast from the night market at the Riverree Resort and Casino in just a few minutes.
Thanks, Josh. Coming up next, Oilers management on the team's off-season priorities after falling just short winning a Stanley Cup.
I think it's hard to, in the moment, reflect upon how great a season it was.
Programming brought to you by K-Days. The 10 best days of summer are back.
You're watching CTV News at 5.
A man involved in a deadly break-in at a home on New Year's Day 2023 will spend more than a decade in prison. As CTV's Amanda Anderson reports, it was a case of mistaken identity that left a father dead and one of his daughters injured.
A Toronto man was before a judge in Edmonton today, accused of first-degree murder. In an agreed statement of facts, the court heard Tavon Orr and an accomplice broke down the front door of this home on January 1st, 2023. Both were armed with loaded handguns. According to the facts, it was the accomplice who fired 2 shots at Barinder Singh, who later died. Singh's wife and daughters tried to hide. The court heard the accomplice fired 3 more shots when they got inside, and one of the bullets hit the daughter who was hiding in the bathroom. Orr was also hit. His DNA found on a bullet recovered from the scene. Police say it was a case of mistaken identity. Orr pleaded guilty to a lesser charge of manslaughter with a weapon.
The Crown needed to prove party liability for Mr. Orr because he was not the person who fired the gun, as well as then his ultimate sentence.
The court also heard from Singh's family. Often through tears, they described him as a happy-go-lucky person and how their lives have changed since his death. His oldest daughter saying no matter how old they are, they still need their dad. His wife became very emotional at times as she spoke about the emotional and financial toll Orr has caused them. As victim impact statements were read by Singh's wife and daughters, Orr rarely looked up from the prisoner's box. He did later say he was sorry when given a chance to address the court. An apology, the family tells me, they do not accept. They believe it was just an attempt for leniency from the justice. The judge accepted a joint sentence submission made by the Crown and Defense of 11 years in prison.
And you consider that the minimum sentence for murder in the second degree is a 10-year minimum parole eligibility. Mr. Orr's sentence at 11 years reflects the seriousness of what happened to this family.
The justice told Orr she hopes his injury serves as a reminder of the injury he caused the young woman and her family. Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
The Edmonton Oilers general manager will have his work cut out for him this offseason. Stan Bowman's biggest priority will be signing several players, including his captain. During his year-end interview, he also touched on the future of head coach Chris Knobloch. CTV's Nariman Issa reports.
It's hard to, in the moment, reflect upon how great a season it was.
Stan Bowman's first year as general manager saw his club go to the Stanley Cup final. He has a better idea now about what he has to do to bulk up his roster.
The area with probably the least amount of change will be the defense. I think up front we need some different players.
Goaltending was a contentious issue in the postseason, with the starter often being a game day decision.
I don't want to single the goaltending out. I think it's just something that we're going to look at and investigate what's the best path moving forward for our team.
Bowman says his biggest priority is getting Connor McDavid signed to an extension this summer. The captain will be a free agent next season, able to sign with any team if he doesn't sign with Edmonton.
Certainly, we're eager to meet with him whenever he wants, but also understanding that he just went through a very, tough ending to the season. And so timing-wise, Connor's going to drive that process.
Head coach Chris Knobloch has back-to-back cup appearances in the 2 seasons he's been here. Today, he got a public stamp of approval from his boss.
Chris is going to be the coach here for a while, and I enjoy working with him, and I think we're lucky to have him.
Knobloch says he wants to be here long-term.
It's pretty ideal for me here, and hopefully we can continue what we've done and build off of it, because I don't think there'd be anything better than to win it all in a place like this.
The two will work together to ice a winning lineup for the upcoming season, hoping third time's a charm in winning the cup. Nariman Issa, CTV News, Edmonton.
The Tom Cochrane and Burton Cummings concert scheduled for tomorrow at Fan Park has been postponed. The concert has been moved to Monday, September 1st. The Oilers Entertainment Group isn't saying why the concert had to be rescheduled. Previously purchased tickets will be honored for the new date. Refunds will also be available at the point of purchase. Still to come, the Bumont Music Fest is here.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
The Bumont Music Festival is kicking off with some high-energy acts. Tonight's acts include Festival Circuit regulars Five Alarm Funk and Juno nominee Jeremy Fisher before headliners Blackie and the Rodeo Kings finish things off. The festival starts up again tomorrow morning at 11. Alberta's Circus Arts Festival is in full swing in Edmonton's French Quarter. Over 4 days, the event will showcase everything from gravity-defying acrobatics to poetic physical theater. A producer says this is the first year that the festival is bringing in international talent.
We've got a great audience that's supported us throughout these last few years and really wanted to see circus in a different level. And it also means that we've been recognized by the circus community elsewhere to really get shows here.
Along with ticketed shows, there are free events like juggling and stilt workshops. The festival runs through Sunday. All right, lots going on this weekend, including the Riverree Night Market, which is where we found Josh today.
Yeah, and I have some guests here. I've got Sloan and Sloan, who almost didn't make it for their TV slot because you were doing a little bit of shopping. Do you want to show off what you... Oh, very fancy earrings. Is that the best part about coming down here, Sloan?
Yeah, definitely the shopping.
Really? What specifically besides jewelry are you shopping for, Sloan?
Like just fun random junk things.
Oh, cool. And are you having anything to eat from the food trucks?
No, not yet.
Okay, well it's not supper time yet. You got still half an hour or so. What do you think of the music?
The music is loud and it's very calming and fun.
It is fun. Okay, anything else? What's the best thing that goes on down here? What are you most excited for?
So far, I'm most excited for spending time with my friend.
Oh, and you know what? I really appreciate that both of you have the same name so that I wouldn't forget it. Sloan and Sloan. Thank you. Hey, do you guys want snow?
No.
Don't go to Kananaskis this weekend then. It's gonna snow. But we'll talk about that more in a second. Ladies, thank you so much. I'm gonna do a little bit of weather now. Take a look outside right now through the Action Furnace River Valley Sky Cam. Action Furnace Fixed Rider, it's free. Cloudy skies, showers, and thunderstorms in parts of the Edmonton area, although it looks dry there. 16 degrees right now after hitting 21 for a daytime high. Still in the 20s in eastern Alberta. Jasper and Red Deer, though, at 13. There's the showers moving into the eastern parts of the Edmonton region. Also some showers across the south and then some thunderstorms there way off to the east of the city that may sneak in from the east as they move back to the west before the evening is done. Red Deer's had some showers and thunderstorms in the area for most of the day today, and there's actually going to be more rain in Red Deer overnight tonight and through tomorrow morning, although I think it ends by about lunchtime tomorrow. It will stick around almost all day, though, for areas further to the south, so from Nordegg all the way south through Calgary and all the areas in green. 50 to 100 millimeters of rain. Parts of southwestern Alberta could see even more, and a snowfall warning on the first day of summer. 10 to 20 centimeters potentially, with some higher elevations, maybe even closer to 30 centimeters by the time we hit the middle of the day tomorrow. Showers and thunderstorms in the Edmonton region right through to mid or late this evening, but cloudy skies by tomorrow morning, sunny breaks in the afternoon, and then for Sunday, sunny with a few clouds, and in the evening, a chance of a shower or thunderstorm. Temperatures in the 5 to 10 degree range for most of the province. Overnight tonight should be in the mid to upper teens across the north tomorrow. A lot drier in the north, awfully soggy in the south. Here in Edmonton, gusty tomorrow, but dry. We'll get to a high of around 17 degrees, 18 on Sunday with a risk of an evening thunderstorm. Back into the 20s by Tuesday and Wednesday. Jeff.
All right. Thank you, Josh, and thank you to the Sloans. The province got a head start on celebrating National Indigenous Peoples Day. The celebration at the Royal Alberta Museum included reflection from Minister Rajan Sawhney. There was also traditional music, storytelling, and dancing. When we return, climbers clamber up a cliff in Edmonton's River Valley.
Just like, people are so good and just inspiring to watch.
CTV News at 5 continues.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Rock climbers from across North America are spending the weekend high above Edmonton's River Valley. CTV's Merrick DeCash reports on a competition being held for the first time in our city.
Hannah Brain is one of 75 climbers competing in the North American Cup.
It was a really cool climb. There's like a bunch of technical things and some heel hooks. A lot of the holds are pretty good, better than I expected. And the last move was fun to jump.
Last year, she competed in the Youth World Championships in China. With 8 years of experience under her belt, the American climber decided to enter her first competition north of the border.
I really liked it being outside and the walls like overhang, and I really always liked that. And it was right by the river, so it was really cool.
This is the first time Edmonton has hosted the North American Cup.
It's similar to a World Cup competition. It's for athletes across North America to compete in competitive rock climbing.
Organizer Adam Lusick says the goal of the event is to get more people excited about and involved in the sport. Climb YEG is hosting a variety of activities throughout the weekend, including personal climbing demos.
There's fun climbing skills competitions for someone with no experience. There's a community competition for people with some experience and they want to try the wall behind me. They can register.
In a highly competitive field, Calgary's Joel Neufeld is looking to stand out among the pack.
Oh, it's awesome just to see all the different levels of athletes across North America. Just like, people are so good and just inspiring to watch.
The action continues Saturday with finals on Sunday. Merrick DeCash, CTV News, Edmonton.
And thank you for sharing your time with us. For news anytime, visit ctvnewsedmonton.ca or now the CTV channel on YouTube.